Howdy. Howdy, welcome. Howdy, welcome. Thank you for jumping in. Smokey the Blammer. Hi, Damon. All right, the exceptional hero is here. Thank you for joining, everybody.
Hi, Matt.
Hi. I am sideways and not for the first time in my life.
Well, I can't hear you. Hold on.
Can't hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Great. All right.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. You got that Christmas tree up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got to bring the Christmas cheer here.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Let's see. Just trying to stabilize this camera here. Everybody that's coming on, welcome. And to this great opportunity, actually, for us. And I hope for Exceptional Heroes and for Savannah. I am
Yes.
stabilizing.
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble hearing you.
Yeah, that's because I'm just talking quietly, kind of to myself while I'm live.
Okay.
It's very poor decorum on my part.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Blitz. Nice to see you. Great. Hi, Selena. All right, I think this is how I'm going to do it here. Okay. So we've still got a little bit of time, but for those who are joining us who don't know what we're doing here, we're going to be having an interview. I got a little, sorry about the glare there. I really got to get a new lighting guy. I got to replace myself. We are going to have a chance to meet with Savanna Palofox, who's the founder of Exceptional Heroes, which is a group that I've been following for a while and have a lot of respect for. And we're going to give a little time for people to join us. If you just happen to be here and you're passing through, oh, thank you, Bello Bell. Thank you for watching. If you just happen to be here and you're passing through, we're going to spend about a half an hour just chatting and getting to know somebody who's doing some exceptional work with her organization, Exceptional Heroes. And might as well spend some time and see what's going on here. Devil Dog Behavior, welcome, welcome. I'm going to spend some more time out here in the lounge area. Back in the day when we actually used to be able to meet in person and you might have a stage to stand on or a podium to speak from.
Yeah.
And,
times have changed.
Times have changed, yeah. It'll be strange to get back to that if we ever do.
It'd be definitely weird if we went back.
Yeah.
I've gotten so used to this.
Yeah, right. I think we're coming up on time. So again, if you're just joining us, we're going to give it a couple more minutes, and I get a chance to interview Savannah Halifax, who's the founder of Exceptional Heroes, doing some exceptional work with some exceptional animals, and I've been tracking what they've been doing for a while and wanted to have a chance to interview her and to use the platform that I've been so fortunate to have to make available to somebody else like Savannah who's doing some work. Hi, J-Dex. Okay, so we're going to spend about a half an hour, and I will record this, and if you are comfortable with it, Savannah, I'd love to post it at some point, and
Yes.
we'll really just work around what feels good for you, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
So, Matt
And my
Beisner.
mom's with me.
Oh, good. Hi, Georgie.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I'm going to let her have it. I'm just going to be support over here on the side.
Oh, great, great. And my wife Brooklyn just got to join us too at BB Well and Fit. So if you all haven't jumped onto Brooklyn's page, you should. And if you haven't said hi to Brooklyn, you should, because it's good for you. Okay. Matt Beisner with the Zen Dog, and I am here to take advantage of the platform that I have and use this space to interview somebody who I think is doing some remarkable work. Her name is Savanna Palofox, and her group is Exceptional Heroes. And I mostly want to let her do the talking. I've got a ton of questions, but I've had the privilege of being able to speak with her offline a bit and following her work for a while. And I think we'll start, Savannah, just with letting people know who you are and what Exceptional Heroes is about, and how we got here to this point.
Yeah. So Exceptional Heroes is a combination of everything I am passionate about. Um, Sorry, I'm saying but I'm a little
No
nervous.
problem. I'll throw in a bunch of
Um,
just to make you feel better.
okay, thank you. So I bring awareness to different disabilities while educating myself on them. I also share my own personal journey, my healing journey, because I am a sexual assault survivor. And a lot of the times it's difficult for those who don't feel like they have a voice. And for a long time, I didn't. And I wanted to use my platform to show that we do have a voice and we can overcome a lot that we've been through. Also, I use the animal-human bond to help those like myself and study a lot about that. That's just a little snippet of what I do.
So, what would be a good jumping off point for you? There's so much that you do, and you have a fascinating world of animals around you and ways in which you have experienced and helped support profound change, both with the animals and obviously for yourself and with the people that you serve. And so, if there was a place for people to start to get to know you and your work, where would you like to start?
I think the beginning would be good because I started actually with therapy rabbits and training them to help the elderly community who have Alzheimer's. I know some of them had Down syndrome, and then they also helped those with autism. And during the time I was training the therapy animals, I was being diagnosed with a seizure disorder and migraines, which they helped tremendously with during my training with them.
So, a lot of people might not know that rabbits could be useful in a way like that. And can you say more about, you've got a rabbit in particular that I kind of hope to grow up and be one day in Monroe, and say more about what makes a rabbit skilled to be able to do the kind of work which is heavy emotional lifting.
Yeah.
And so why a rabbit, and what's been your experience, and how have you seen people respond to Monroe, for example, because I imagine most people don't expect that a rabbit's going to show up to help them with PTSD matters and mental health issues.
Yeah. So I used a rabbit due to wanting to get involved with the autism and spreading awareness and helping them. So I was training a rabbit for them because sometimes dogs can be a little intimidating for them. And so I wanted something smaller, less intimidating, and I thought would be perfect would be, I guess you could say, a prey animal. So I used rabbits, and another reason why I went into rabbits is because I was an FFA, and I showed rabbits for a time, and I was familiar with them. I knew how to train them to sit still and certain things like that. So, and I know a lot about rabbits, so I knew all the breeds and everything like that, what personalities would be good. So my first rabbit actually was Tux, who when I would start having tremors in my arm, he would immediately go underneath to help. And when I saw that, I was like, well, that's different, because I heard about service dogs and service horses, but and I thought those were like the only animals that could help people with disabilities, staying in the box, I guess you could say. But when I saw how he could help me with my seizures, tremors, and then comfort me during my migraines, which brought down my stress, because sometimes my migraines are triggered by stress, I started training them for or more advanced training, I guess you could say. And then that's when I got Monroe, who Monroe has been through my journey. He was actually at college with me when my attack happened. And during that time, I didn't know what was happening with myself because I didn't get any help afterwards. I didn't tell anybody. But through all that, I was noticing different things Monroe never did before, which was LEP, LPT, which is light pressure therapy. So before anytime I would get like anxious or about to cry or something in my dorm room, he would come up to me and he would lay on my chest, which is light pressure therapy. But he knew before I even knew what my triggers were. So laying half of his body on my chest and licking me was helping ground me. Then there was also times that I would pick and he would immediately come and nudge me and lick me. And at first I was like, what is he doing? Because none of these behaviors he ever did before. He was mainly cuddling and stuff like that, which he was being trained for therapy work for autism. But when I started having my, I guess, PTSD, anxiety and stuff, he was really attentive to it. So when I got home and he was brought home with me, he started responding to my seizures. And my parents said during the seizures, he would attack my parents when they would come and try to help me because he knew what he was supposed to do and he didn't want them to interfere. So that's some of it. There's a lot more that he does.
So to be clear, especially for those that are just joining us, I'm getting a chance to talk with Savannah Palofox, who's the founder of Exceptional Heroes, and we're talking about bunnies, which is where any decent conversation starts. And both Tux and Monroe were clearly demonstrating animal service support behavior to you, although they'd not been trained and you hadn't asked for it and you didn't even know that they were doing it.
Correct. Yeah. It was the animal-human bond. So a little bit about that is Tux and I, my first rabbit, he immediately bonded to me. Like everywhere I went, he would follow me, hopping along because he was a free roam rabbit because he was potty trained. And then Monroe, him and I grew a strong bond, and I think even stronger now with everything that has happened and that he knows. And I believe a lot of it was natural, but also I had to do with the human bond. I strongly believe in the human bond, and yeah, just the love that animals can have for someone.
So when did it? So I hear that you began training them for more serious tasks. When did it occur to you, and then subsequently, when did you have your first experience of having Monroe help somebody else who had faced some of the same difficulties and challenges and traumas as you?
Yeah, so I was going to school to be a child psychologist, so I was double majoring in psychology and human development family studies. And through my studies with that, I was learning how the rabbits should act around certain disabilities. So with the autism community, a lot of them don't like to be touched. Not all of them, not just some of them. And so I knew that with Monroe, I wanted him to army crawl. If he knew that a child was, I made sure that Monroe knew body language first off of like what to look for and stuff like that. And then to army crawl to get closer to the child or to the adult that was unsure of being touched by Monroe. So as he army crawled, he put his head down, and by him putting his head down is asking us permission if they could pet him. And then, go ahead.
I'm going to have a trainer geek moment. How did you teach Monroe to read that body language and to army crawl in response to that body language?
So a lot of times I act as the person. So I'll be different ways. So sometimes I'll be wailing my hands in the air. This was before my attack. I'd be wailing my hands in the air. And then it's a lot of free. I do a lot of free training. So when I see him do that while I'm in a fake episode, I guess you could say, I would reward him with affection. Monroe's very affection driven. Treats don't work on him. I've tried it all. Affection is what he wants most when being awarded.
Wow. So it sounds, to me, it reminds me of shaping and capturing the experience. So I see the dog doing something that it may not have made a direct connection to in response to the human or other dog, but it's a behavior that I want to mark and I want to praise. And I see the dogs, if I capture enough, I see them start to create a through line. And in time, they actually begin to be able to generalize their behavior in appropriate ways. Am I kind of on a similar track?
Yeah, yes.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of research, because I did a lot of research too, because I wanted to study the body language of the rabbit to make sure that it wasn't scared or anything like that. And that's what the body language was. When knowing that, then that's also why I would reward and stuff, because I didn't want to make sure that I was teaching him to be scared.
So as you were role playing then, were there challenges in the beginning where Monroe might not know that you were pretending as part of a teaching process?
So with rabbits, they're really smart. A lot of times it was hard to get him to do. After a while, it was hard to get him to do it with the role playing because he knew it was fake at this point, and which was strange to me because he stopped. Because I would do it so frequently, I didn't want to do it like every day to make it like a chore. So I would do it like every once in a while with mixing other things in. And once I saw him like not paying attention, it got me like, does he not want to do it? Does he not want to work anymore? What's happening? But then when he was in the environment and we actually had something like that, he immediately went to the army crawl and head bowing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my 4-year-old when he knows that I'm faking. It's just like then he moves into, okay, I'm going to fake it with you. He's already figured out my angle, so I'm kind of doomed for the rest of my parenting life. I might still have a chance with our 1-year-old. So you've got this exceptional rabbit, and you actually are. For those that are just tuning in, Matt Beisner live with the Zen Dog. And I am having the privilege to interview Savanna Palofox, who's the founder of Exceptional Heroes, who is very open about her story. And you can track, there's a lot of information that she openly shares in the interest and spirit of being a service. And so you can track her at exceptional_heroes on Instagram. And please make more plugs along the way, Savanna, for that. Excuse me. So what we're talking about is who Savanna is, how she got started. And if you're just tuning in, we're talking about rabbits, particularly Monroe the rabbit, who began to demonstrate vis-a-vis the human-animal bond, his ability to tend to Savanna's needs, specifically in responses to traumatic experiences she had had. And he was doing it without being trained, and he was doing it without her even knowing that he was doing it. So that much gets you caught up. Savanna, let's now say that let's move on to when you started to bring Monroe to somebody else.
Okay. So our first time that he was, I guess you could say, on the job, he was still in training, but I was part of a research group at my college. So we studied, I don't know if any of you know, but it's called a Mullen Test, which helps us diagnose a child if they have autism. It's one of the many tests that we do. And I was a great part of it. And one of them, they asked me to bring Monroe because they know he was being trained for it and loved what they were hearing, that I was telling them how he was being trained. So at the end of the whole assessment, they they brought him in because it was very emotional for the child. So they asked if Monroe could come in and if they were allergic or any of that. And they said yes. So we brought him in. He was very nervous. It was his first time actually doing it. But he was very attentive, went up to the girl, put his head down like he was trained. She petted him. She held him. She was it was an amazing experience. I was very proud of him for his first time doing it. His second time was a little bit more stressful. Sorry, my tremors are going all over the place.
Take the time that you need, and if there's a way that we can support you, I can support you, let me know.
Mom's here.
The second time he did was at a preschool who had an autistic child, and that was a lot because we visited a lot of classrooms. I think we visited like 4, and he was very good. He was nervous, but not to the point where he wasn't doing his job. And once he got the groove of it, he was good. I think the only part he was mad about is it was early in the morning and he was not used to getting up so early. But with the kids is what was different was that they had to be in a circle. And so every time I would go around with him, I would always ask the kid, would you like to sit in their lap, or would you like him to sit in your lap, or do you just want to pet him? And most of them would say, okay, I want him to sit in my lap. So he would, and the funny part is that he knew that, like, the time, like, after a while, after like 3 kids, he knew that he was supposed to go to the next. So he'd sit in the kid's lap for a while, hop off, and sit in the next kid's lap, and he's a character. I just gotta say that. But rabbits are extraordinary. They do a lot more than people think they can.
So with dogs, similar to humans, I know that I focus a lot in my work nowadays and stress and stacking stress and how that helping to manage the environment so the animal can manage its own stress levels. So after service work like that for Monroe, is there an outlet for him? What does that process look like?
So he takes long naps after work like this because he's he's only 3.5 pounds, so it's a lot for him to take in. So afterwards, I give him the option to either take a nap in his home, or I let him run around either inside, or since we've gotten Maisel, they become buddies. So that's his outlet, is hanging out with Maisel, running out in the backyard with her. And for those of you who don't know who Miss Maisel is, she is a miniature potbelly pig in training to do therapy work.
So, so since my wife is on the line and I'm not allowed to get any more dogs for a long time, can I angle for a potbelly pig?
If that's going to be your last pet, yes.
I'm waiting for a response. I'm like that kid that asks his parents if his friend can stay the night in front of his parents. So we'll see. Maybe we'll text a vote. What do you think, babe? Can we text a vote if I get a potbelly pig?
I say yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now you've got Miss Maisel. So you've got Monroe, the marvelous rabbit. You got, Brooklyn said, ha, 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 no. Rabbit, and now we've got Maisel, the potbelly pig. So now you've got, the intention is to be able to incorporate Maisel into the work that you're doing. And
yes.
how I would imagine, because it's a different species, that the approach maybe philosophically similar, but there's things that are just going to be different on account of what a potbelly pig needs and does.
Yes. So, Miss Maisel, so do you want me to go into a little bit of the training first?
Just talk about Ms. May. I'm probably, you know, the training geek. I'm probably more interested in the training, but just a lot of people, I want to keep the focus on you and
Yeah.
what these amazing animals are doing.
So Miss Maisel, we mainly focus on more of the calmer facility visits. So we do the elderly homes with her. It's a little bit more of a slower pace. We've done the adults with disabilities at the ranch. Those ones is a little bit harder with the ranch because with the ranch we do a walk around to get um, the animals exercise and the people, because it's really good and good for your brain to walk and get some vitamin D. So, but Miss Maisel is very slow at walking. So we sit in the little area where some of the people with disabilities sit and relax if their joints are hurting and stuff like that, which they really enjoy. And then she loves to show off all her tricks and what she can do.
Like what? What can Miss Maisel do? And have you posted that on your page so that people can go check that out?
I posted it when she was, I think, like 13 weeks old. I should post another one.
Yeah, how old is
But
she now?
how old is she? She's a year.
Okay, yeah, super.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I should update that.
got
But
to
yeah,
update
she
it,
knows
yeah.
how to sit pretty. She knows how to twirl. Yeah. Everyone gets shocked when she sits. I'm like,
That's awesome. So Miss Maisel so she's now fitting a particular need in terms of the kind of service that you want to do. And what do you see what are some next goals for you or places where you feel drawn to be of service, either in the arenas that you're in or in some different areas?
so I am currently in patent pending for a product that I invented to help a lot of people. It's for mental illness. So it's for people like me, autism, the elderly community, veterans, and so much more. Just all types of disabilities it could help with. It's an all-inclusive product.
Are you at liberty to say a little bit more about it?
I'm looking over to my mom.
Yeah, you can say it. It's a therapeutic device.
Okay, so it's an all-inclusive therapeutic device that's coming out in January. We're having a Kickstarter, so I'll be posting that for everyone to actually see what it is and the use for it. And I actually have the prototype, which I'm using right now.
Oh, at this moment.
Yes, I'm actually using it at this
Excellent.
moment.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So an all-inclusive therapeutic device, that sounds to me like the being on the boat that takes me to Fiji.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's a comforting device that includes everything that I love and cherish.
Excellent. All right. Well,
So,
that's its own fascinating conversation, I reckon. Maybe you'll let your
yes,
followers will have to figure that out.
yes.
Again, for those that are joining us, Matt Beisner with the Zen Dog, and I have the opportunity here to interview Savannah Palofox, who's the founder of Exceptional Heroes, and you can find her on Instagram, exceptional_heroes, doing remarkable work for people in need with remarkable animals. And really, one of the things that draws me to what you do, Savannah, is you're working from your own experience. And so for myself, being more than a decade clean and sober, what I have seen to be as impactful as anything is those who are sharing from their direct experience and offer a way to have a second chance or a third chance or however many chances one needs. And so for me to be able to speak from my experience in the interest of helping somebody who may or may not relate but needs help, and to have an animal help me with that, it is It is a profound and privileged and divine experience.
Thank you. And I also want to mention that there
Please.
are two other exceptional heroes. My two American bullies, Shelby and Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
They were just added this year. I call them my COVID pups.
You could just name one Co and the other one Vid.
Exactly. That's their nicknames now. I like it.
Brooklyn and I think, I don't know if we've gotten back to the dog name, but I think we had Deja Blue named before we actually got Deja Blue, right? We tend to pick names ahead of time. Back in
Oh
the
yeah.
day when we didn't have anything to do, like other than build a business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super. I'm really, really grateful to spend this time with you. And is there anything else that you'd like to leave people with? Something that you want to share or guide them towards, or something that you'd like to offer in terms of your own experience, strength, and hope?
Yeah, so if you guys want to see more of what I do, you can follow me at Exceptional Heroes or exceptional_heroes. And I always like leaving off with saying, always remember to listen, love, and connect.
Yes.
That's our motto.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, sure appreciate your time and your openness and your courage and the model that you set that is accessible. You know, it can be very easy, particularly for those who are challenged with a lot of some of the things that you are living with and have faced. Not only does one not want to share about them, but it is often, in my experience, it often looks like the person that's out there and shining about it just seems to be unreachable, you know.
Mm.
And that is part of the dis-ease that surrounds this, that person is not actually reachable or they're not like us. So the more people get to hear from you and people like you and work with animals like yourself, I think the more hope they get. And I can't think of a better, I really can't think of a better calling. I have a lot of appreciation for what you do and respect for what you do.
Thank you. And I appreciate you too. I loved, when I saw your show, I loved it. And I immediately found your Instagram and just started following because you do exceptional work with the dogs you work with and the people.
Thank you for saying so. Okay, till next time, Matt Beisner signing off with Savannah Palofox, founder of Exceptional Heroes. Thank you for tuning in, and we will post this live recording on both of our pages, and we look forward to hearing from more of Savannah, and we look forward to hearing from more of you, and want to make sure on our end that you know that you are not alone and there is hope and we can help, and if we can't help, somebody else can. All right, take care of yourselves. Respect, trust, love. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.